No, 5. Sugar. Good job, guys. 5. 22 minutes grip.
22 minutes left.
В сборах были 3 недели. Приехали. Опасность, конечно, если человек чемпион на какой-то вес. Особенно у нас в организации, там таких проходных не бывает. Так что...
Stadium did an interview just, I think, this week, and he broke down that he believes Islam's stand-up is a little bit easier to deal with than Bilal's because Islam has more of a traditional style for his stand-up. Do you feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope that he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story because I'm sorry, they're completely different. And by no means is Islam an easy for anybody on the stand-up. Any MMA fighter that's a striker, that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years of watching him just destroy everybody on the stand-up, guys that are much better stand-up than him, and he still destroys them. So, no. Don't go by what you see when you get in there with that man.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has returned to training camp, stepping back into his role as coach for Islam's upcoming welterweight title fight against JDM at UFC 322. The former champion was spotted actively guiding his fighters, including Islam and Usman, as he prepared them for their highly anticipated bouts.
But it was 4 rounds, but we have to do this 22 minutes, 2 rounds. 11, 1 minute rest. 5. Go up.
However, Islam Makhachev admitted that Jack Della Maddalena would be a serious challenge, especially after watching his strong performance against Belal Muhammad. Islam recalled Jack's early difficulties with wrestling, but acknowledged the improvements he's made by training alongside elite grapplers. He described Jack as a dangerous, championship-caliber fighter, but emphasized that their showdown would ultimately determine who truly sits at the top of the division.
Do you think he's going to be a hard fight for you? I know he said he wants to get one back for Alexander Volkanovski here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He is good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had a problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very quick.
Islam also admitted that moving up in weight turned out to be tougher than he expected, since most of his career had been focused on cutting rather than program. He said he had only managed to put on a few kilos. He explained that he wasn't interested in bulking up by overeating, but preferred to build muscle through disciplined training so he could maintain his strength the right way.
I will try to be big, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, I try to lift more. We do some program and like slowly, we bring 2 kg right now, but I don't want to be big by food, eating and not training. I want to be with muscles, I want to training and bring some muscle.
At a recent press conference, Makhachev discussed the adjustments he's made to competing at welterweight. He explained that in the past he would walk around at about 183 to 185 pounds before camp, but with improved training and nutrition, he now stays closer to 189. According to him, this weight makes him feel strong and sharp when sparring with natural welterweights. He also stressed that putting on unnecessary bulk isn't part of his plan, as his current preparation already has him ready to compete in the division.
What is your weight now? How much did your weight change, and how did your physical condition, your physical preparation change? You know, up until last camp, I think my weight was about 83, 84. But now with the right regimen, with the right diet, my weight is now 86 and a half. Yesterday was 86 and a half. I think right now I'm where I need to be. I'm at the right weight. I'm at the place where I feel comfortable with working out, sparring, and working with the guys that usually fight at 77. To continue to gain the weight from now on is not necessarily the goal of mine. I mean, it might go up by 1 or 2 kgs in training still, but we've already done plenty of work during this camp with heavyweights to make sure to gain the proper weight that we need.
Islam also addressed the possibility of moving back down after his first bout at welterweight. He admitted that making 155 had always been a tough cut, and said the decision would depend on how his body feels afterward if he continues walking around at 85 to 86 kilos. He explained that he and his team would need to carefully consider what the smartest direction would be for his career going forward.
Do you ever consider going back down to lightweight? Because with everything you said, most likely cutting weight is going to be only harder. Depends on how much weight I'll gain after the fight. So if I'm going to go up to 83 or 84, that's possible. But if I'll go up to 85, 86, then I'm not sure. I mean, it was never an easy thing to cut weight, so we'll have to sit down with the team and we'll have to figure out what the next move is.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria was recently asked about Makhachev's move to welterweight and the possibility of a showdown with Della Maddalena, but he dismissed the idea right away. He made it clear that the matchup wasn't something he cared about and admitted he had no interest in giving it any thought.
Do you think Islam Makhachev will do it 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that. So
Ilia Topuria also shared some advice. He suggested focusing on straight shots to the body in order to make Islam hesitant about shooting for takedowns. Topuria believed that consistent body work could slow down Makhachev's wrestling and admitted that he respects Jack's overall striking ability and fighting style.
Have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job in striking. I like how he...
Former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira considered Jack Della Maddalena a legitimate threat because of his patient style, pointing out how Jack wore down Belal Muhammad over time instead of forcing an early finish. Even so, Oliveira expected Makhachev to benefit from moving up in weight, believing the added strength would make his grappling even more effective. In his view, the fight would come down to whether Jack could stay on his feet long enough to use his striking, or if Islam's control on the ground would ultimately dictate the outcome.
Acho que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam.
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. É o que ele fez agora no contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo.
Meanwhile, Daniel Cormier described a potential showdown between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev as a high-stakes, must-watch fight. He noted that Jack's recent form made the matchup especially intriguing, since Islam had never been tested at welterweight. Cormier openly questioned whether Makhachev could handle Jack's size and physicality, pointing out Islam's naturally slimmer frame. He explained, "It's a fantastic fight, a big-time fight. And if Jack Della performs the way he did against Belal, it becomes very interesting, because we've never seen Islam compete at 170 pounds. Yes, he's a big lightweight, but is he as physically imposing as Jack?" Cormier also advised Makhachev to fine-tune his wrestling ahead of a clash with Della Maddalena. He highlighted Jack's improving takedown defense and reminded fans that Islam had struggled at moments to control Dustin Poirier on the mat. Because of this, Cormier believed Islam would need sharper grappling to dictate the fight against such a dangerous striker.
Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena who showed great takedown defense. And, man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good.
On the other hand, Sean Brady admitted that he was actually rooting for Makhachev, calling a matchup with him a career-defining challenge and the perfect opportunity to test his grappling against the very best. Still, when pressed for a prediction, he leaned toward Jack Della Maddalena, arguing that the Australian was being underestimated and had the tools to shock a lot of people.
Selfishly, for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing. And I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. You know, I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Sean Brady believed that Makhachev's decision to move up a division had already shaken things up. He pointed out that Islam and Ilia Topuria seemed to be on a collision course for a future showdown, which could heavily to lightweight, but a win could keep him at welterweight for a while, possibly defending the belt a couple of times before either vacating it or stepping away from the sport altogether.
To be honest, Islam coming up is what kind of fucked up this whole division in the first place, you know, but you can't be mad at him. If I was in that situation, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But I know him and Topuria are trying to set something up. If he wins, I think he's staying at 170. I think the chances of him, I think if he loses, there's a bigger chance of him going back down to 155 and then maybe them still doing that Ilia Topuria fight. That's how I think of it. I think if he wins at 170, he'll defend it one or two times and then he'll bounce from there. Yeah, and vacate or retire. Like those guys, they're not fighting very late into their 30s, you know, they're retiring early. So
featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski also broke down the matchup, pointing to Jack Della Maddalena's performance against Belal Muhammad as the perfect preparation for facing Makhachev. He explained that Jack's ability to stuff takedowns in that fight gave him a huge mental advantage moving forward. Volkanovski added that Jack's wrestling defense has reached a level where even elite grapplers would struggle to control him, both in training and under the lights on fight night.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns because again, every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. You know, I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, you know, worried about, you know, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like I guarantee you if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. You know, only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even.
How much better do you think Islam's gotten since your debut, where you fought him?
Yeah, he improved his striking, very good. He's clean. His cardio, he used to have bad cardio. His cardio way better. And I mean, his experience, of course, the most